Breaking news on a deadly earthquake. Colombia declares a national emergency after a powerful earthquake in western Colombia today killed at least 111 people. Now, the death toll is only expected to rise as crews search for people who could be buried underneath that rubble. A magnitude 7.4 quake shook the South American country and neighboring Ecuador. Now, social media footage captured the moment one of the buildings collapsed. Residents in the city of Pereira ran from the cloud of dust as that structure fell to the ground. Now, as a reminder, this earthquake follows June's back-to-back earthquakes in neighboring Venezuela that killed more than 5,000 people. I want to go live now to CBS News immigration correspondent Camilo Montoya-Galvez. Camilo, great to be with you. We just saw some of the devastation there. What can you tell us about the extent of the damage so far?
Well, Liz, according to the country's president, the devastating earthquake in Colombia has killed now more than 100 people, 111 residents of Colombia so far, to be exact. 87 people have also been injured by the quake. But as you underscored, Liz, the numbers of people who have died and the people who have been injured by the quake are almost certainly going to continue rising in the coming hours. According to authorities in Colombia, dozens of buildings throughout the country have partially collapsed or completely collapsed because of the earthquake. The airports in the cities of Pereira, Manizales, Armenia, Cartago, and Buenaventura are no longer operational after the earthquake. So even air travel has been affected greatly by the natural disaster there in Colombia. The epicenter, Liz, was in a community in the region of Chocó on the Pacific coast called San José del Palmar. But the impact of the quake was even broader, affecting a larger portion of Colombia, including what is known in Spanish as El Eje Cafetero, or the coffee growing region in central Colombia, cities like Manizales and Pereira, but also Cali in the southwest, where I was actually born. And it was even felt in neighboring Ecuador, as you underscored. And authorities say that officials and residents alike in communities throughout the country are still looking for signs of life, looking for survivors in the rubble. And the quake has greatly diminished and hindered communications in Colombia. I've seen that firsthand. My mother was actually on the phone with my father, who traveled to Cali just last week when the quake struck early this morning, and was able to talk to him briefly right after the fact, right after the earthquake. But I have not been able to reach him just yet. I've been calling him nonstop all day. And so communications have been hindered by the earthquake. Many here in the U.S. and around the world are calling their loved ones to make sure they're okay. And it has been a significant challenge, of course, Liz. So for now, we expect the numbers to rise, and it is truly a devastating situation there in Colombia so far, Liz.
And I can only imagine. I hope you're able to talk to your family members soon just to get reassured that they are okay. I'm curious, what's the response on the ground look like? Is Colombia and their resources, are they equipped to handle a disaster like this?
Well, that is the million-dollar question, Liz. It is a critical question. We know that the country's newly sworn-in president, Abelardo de la Espriella, just declared a national emergency that his government says will expedite the funding that can be allocated towards different regions of the country. We know that one of the hardest hit regions, El Chocó, has historically been impoverished and underfunded and has been affected disproportionately by the country's long-standing armed conflict. And so that will prove to be a challenge, getting aid into those hard-hit communities in, again, places that have been struggling with poverty and also conflict for many decades. We also know that this president was just inaugurated, like I said, recently last week, in fact, in Cali, one of the hardest hit areas. And so this is posing now a major challenge in his first week in office, Liz.
There certainly will be tested, no doubt. Camilo Montoya-Galvez, thank you so much for that update. All right, I want to bring in meteorologist Jessica Birch, who's monitoring the earthquake aftershocks. And we know with a magnitude of this size, there's going to be several larger aftershocks.
Of course. I mean, every year we only see about 18 of these earthquakes, a magnitude 7.0 or above. It's rare that we see this. And in this community specifically, since 1950, there's only been 2 earthquakes of a magnitude 7.0 or above number, of course, aftershocks are still concerned too, but 7.0 or above since 1950. We've only seen 2 of them in this surrounding area. So what we want to keep a close eye on today and what the USGS just put out within the past hour is our aftershock forecast. So far, we've seen a magnitude 5.0 earthquake. Keep in mind, in these communities, they woke up this morning around 7:30 in the early morning hours trying to get to work and school with these conditions. And now what we keep a close eye on for our aftershock forecast today is magnitude 5.0 or greater. We see about a 70% chance there, a 6.0 or greater, about a 14% chance in the surrounding area. And we're going to continue to monitor that closely as we head into the afternoon and evening hours tonight. Now, that's throughout the next week. We could see that. So a magnitude 5.0, we see about 1,500 of those a year globally. But this, like I said earlier, is very rare that we see this. So it's impacting major communities throughout those areas in Colombia. We're going to continue to keep a close eye on the conditions into the evening hours tonight as more aftershocks are in the forecast. Liz?
Jess, thank you so much.